All right, I'm going to try and attempt to do my best, ESPN anchor here. Hey, we have Josh Green coming back at some point. We're going to interview him. We're going to talk to him about business growth for a program that he runs called ICAP statewide program. But, technical difficulties do happen, but the show must go on. But in the meantime, we're going to roll with the punches, as they say, because, you're here to watch the show, and the show must go on. And here we are. Tim, what's on your mind these days?
Well, I just started Boston Marathon training for me just started this week, so that weighs heavy.
How often are you? So you're listening to podcasts when you are podcasts or books or things like that. How often are those business related?
Oh, that's all I listen to.
Exclusively, okay.
Yeah. I mean, my goal in life, man, and it's not really, really hard, but my goal in life is to surround myself with people that are smarter than I am. So as long as I surround myself with people that are smarter than me, then hopefully some of that rubs off and I can learn a thing or two.
The hardest thing I think is always when you hear a book and you're listening to a book and you hear something like that's super valuable and you're like, how do I remember that later in the day so that I can retain that? Is there a strategy that you've used to try and?
Yeah. So what I do when I'm doing that, so I'm running, I'll remember, I know what time I started and I'll try to get to drop a pin, so to speak, and be like, all right, I heard this nugget when I was this far into the podcast. And then if it's really, really good, I'll go back to that point and re-listen to it so that I can jot that down, or I'll just keep on repeating that thought over and over and over again until I get home. But yeah, that's the one downfall. I wish that there was a way that you could, you can bookmark stuff on Audible, but when you're looking at distance, time, and pace, and all that kind of stuff, you really
what happens?
There's not a solution.
A second thing pops up that's valuable.
Yeah, I just hope that I can remember it. But like, I don't know. What are you listening to these days?
I'm re-listening. So I haven't really been listening to a lot. I've just been listening to Spotify music for no reason. I mean, I think in 2020, I read like 70 books and I was just like over it. So then I was like, I'm going to reread my favorite books. And I did that for about 6 months of the year. But like I started listening Monday or Tuesday. I'm pulling up Audible to remember the name. It's by Michael Jordan's coach. Maybe I've told you to read this before.
Oh yeah.
It is called Tim. I think it's Tim Grover or Tim Glover. Relentless.
Yeah.
Tim Grover. Relentless, from good to great to unstoppable. And so he's got this concept where he talks with, or he kind of shares how he got Michael Jordan as a client, which is interesting, and then what he does to coach some of the best athletes ever. And so I don't know, I'm an hour and 10 minutes into it. What speed do you listen to your books at?
Usually, I'm trying to think what Audible is. I think either 1.5 or 1 1/4 or 1.5. Depending on how fast the narrator is, though, because some narrators talk faster than others, and then then it's too quick. But yeah, usually 1 1/4 or 1.5, one of those two.
I remember when I read my book, like physically read it, spoke it, whatever the correct vernacular is in that case. I just read it like I normally would, like this, like I don't know. Let's read a page real quick. Throw some flair and personality into your profile pic and make it more fun. If you look like everyone else, just like that, right? And then so some guy was like, "Oh, I listened to your book on 3x," and I was like, 3x? That seems like ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember talking to somebody, and they were like, "Yeah, I listen to all my books at that speed." And I'm thinking to myself, either you're really, really smart, or I'm not nearly as smart as you, or you're just not retaining anything, because that's just way too much.
This book is at 1.4x. I think the highest I've ever been able to do is like 1.75, but it really depends on the narrator, obviously, right?
Yeah, 100%.
It's a very interesting situation, if you will. We're still waiting to get Josh Green back on the line. Must be a storm or something going on. He did let us know beforehand that the internet was a little wild out there.
Yeah, and he lost power twice before there. Well,
and he is popping back on. We will continue to chat for a second as we see him. Once he gives us a thumbs up that he can hear us, that his microphone is good, we will bring him back on, because there's nothing more exciting than live, like a live show where you have to roll with the punches. I recently was watching, I have Disney Plus, which I think is a phenomenal OTT platform, and they have some really good flicks on that. So I was rewatching
Frozen.
No, Frozen. Yes. No, I was watching. It's got Hugh Jackman in it. It's not Wolverine. It's something else. He's it's where he's the Barnum and Bailey guy.
Greatest Showman.
The Greatest Showman. Back with us, Josh Green, to answer that question for me. Thank you. If you guys have never watched Greatest Showman,
that is good.
It is phenomenal.
Well done.
And I mean, it's got a great entrepreneurial thing. How to make sure that family stays into it. Like, it's a story about grit, and I think that's something that I don't know if grit is taught. I don't know if resilience is taught, but it's a great flick, and it's got a couple good tunes in it too that you can just sing along. So,
are you stuck at your home office, socially distanced coffee shop, or your fancy all bricked out corner office, wondering why no one can see your business and sales are all over the place? Sounds like you need a pro. That's why I developed the Anomaly Academy. Insert clever copy here. Oh, I guess I was supposed to put something else there. Oops. You can grab access to the Anomaly Academy now at zachmillersays.com/Anomaly Academy.